Welcome, 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 everyone. Today we're chatting about the 5 functions of Vata. That is where we're going. That is what we're chatting about. My name is Nina Sachs. I am one of the directors here at the Academy of Yoga and Ayurveda, where we have our 200 and our 300-hour yoga teacher training, our 40-hour training in Ayurveda, and our 100-hour bridging course. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I want you to imagine, how would you feel if you just spent 5 or 10 minutes every day learning a little bit about Ayurveda? What would that change for you in 12 months from now? Would that change anything for you, for your family, for your students? So just keep that in mind. And today we're going to be hanging out with my friend, Dr. Vasant Lad again, and we're going to be delving into the 5 functions of Vata. All right, so the first one is Purana, which is this idea of filling space. So Purana means to fill the space. As air fills a vacuum, Purana is associated with prana vayu and fills the space of the cells and governs inspiration. So governs the drawing in. And that is Purana. And there's a beautiful mantra that Pramila goes through in our philosophy course that encompasses this aspect of wholeness, of fullness of Purana. So in Ayurveda, all these concepts all interlink, all intermingle from philosophy to the yoga. And this is a really important concept to know about when you're teaching yoga, is this idea of filling the space. So kind of filling the spaces as you inhale and drawing and bringing that concept and that idea to your students. All right, so that is the first function. It is to fill the space. Then the second one is Udvana, which is upward movement, which is that Udana Vayu, which we were chatting about yesterday. So I'll link to that video after this so that you can have a look at the 5 subtypes of Vata. And this is this movement of upwardness helps again with the expelling and the releasing. So it's kind of like this upward movement from the diaphragm, the lungs up. All right, then we go to Viveka, and this means isolation, separation, splitting as a single cell splits into 2. So it's kind of like that separation of splitting and dividing. Samana Vayu, which again we were chatting about, is kind of like that diagonal, that side-to-side movement, is that splitting movement where you're splitting that happens in that digestive area, is associated with Viveka. Here, Viveka means discrimination between essential and non-essential, which is of one of the processes of digestion governed by Samana Vaya. So what is essential for the body, what can be absorbed, what can be utilized, and what is non-essential, what can be released and eliminated. So it's kind of like that discernment of what is needed. Therefore, in the process of digestion, Samana splits the foodstuff into essential and non-essential for absorption in the small intestine and at the cellular level. So this is kind of like one of the functions of Vata. It's like this Viveka. It is this splitting up of it. And again, that is more related to the area in the that digestive area. All right. The fourth one that we're chatting about now is dharana, which means to hold the flow, as when one inhales and holds the breath, and also means circulation and nutrition. So kind of like when you're holding that breath, you're holding, and then things can kind of be absorbed and moved around, circulated. For example, through circulation, Vata carries nutrients to the cells and by osmosis, the cells are nourished by Vata. That is also dharana. Dharana is associated with the apana vayu, which absorbs minerals and thereby governs the nourishment of the body. If a person has severe diarrhea, the dharana function is lost. Dharana is necessary for the tone of the body. And so again, this is in that colon region, again, that apana vayu sits. So there's that expansion. It allows for that absorption to take place. And that is a key function. It's kind of like to hold the flow. So allow there to be enough holding space for absorption to take place and not just for things to move haphazardly. So there has to be that holding and then that to allow that release. And then the fifth one is spandanam, which means the pulsation. And it means this like continuous pulsation that is always there within us. And it is the movement of this movement of the body governed by the vyan, or the vayu, the pulsation. And this is kind of also like where you feel that throb of pulsation. And that kind of like the heart and the circulation, that is, again, the fifth function of Vata. So functions of Vata, let's go through the whole list of like all the functions of Vata and just notice how they relate to which of these categories. So all physical movement, the maintenance of life, communication. It governs the mind, sensory perception, and motor functions, including speech and muscular coordination, movement of thoughts, feelings, and nerve impulses, respiration, your heart function, circulation, ingestion, peristalsis, and enzyme secretion. So knowing again that that is what is happening, assimilation and absorption, elimination of urine, feces, sweat, menstruation, delivery of babies. It's also related to orgasms and the cellular respiration and division. Hearing, touch, clarity, creativity, and joy. And so what is important is that understanding like that there are these many functions that are of Vata, and there are kind of like the 5 key areas that we were talking about, kind of like Purana is like to fill the space, the Udvana is to move like upwards, it's kind of like that in sensation. Viveka is like the isolation and the splitting and the dividing. The dharana is to hold the flow. And then finally, the parasapandanam, the pulsation or that throbbing, kind of like that peristalsis movement. And tomorrow we're going to explore the different sites of Vata, and colon being the main one, but we'll get into all the little sub-sites of Vata and explore those a little bit more. Have a good think about kind of like these 5 functions of Vata, what they're doing for you. If you have any insights, if you have any questions, remember to leave them in the comments. Let me know which of these 5 functions you feel are working really well for you, or if there's one that you can say, this one's a little off. Let me know in the comments below, and we can always give you a few tips and tricks on how to bring certain aspects back into balance in a future video. So from me for now, remember that if you would like to hang out with us in one of our teacher trainings, let me know. We also have a chair workshop coming up. If you want to find out more about our Ayurveda, that's also happening. If you have any questions, again, let me know. Otherwise, sign up to our newsletter, which you'll find in our descriptions. Have a beautiful day, and I'll catch you again tomorrow for part number, who knows what part it is, of a little bit more Ayurveda insights and education for you. Have a beautiful day. Take care.